Hello, Steph. How are we? Champagne supernova. Feeling good?
I'm feeling supersonic, mate. That's how I'm feeling.
Good,
Yeah,
good, good,
yeah,
good.
yeah. On a high, still riding that high of Oasis, mate. It was top tier, but highs all round. Highs all round. We're smashing it pre-season.
Yeah, we are. We're
We're
back
back.
pre-season.
We're back.
Oh my god, we're back, baby. 9-0. What are we saying, guys? Listening 9-0
Uh,
against was it the worst team in Australia,
oh
basically?
man, Perth, bless him. But no, yeah, Liverpool game was good as well, though. I think
Yeah,
we'll come on to it today. But yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. Yeah, yeah. How about you? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. I've got builders still in the background. Life is just a chaos at the moment. It's all good. It's all good chaos. Can't complain. And obviously, we're a couple of weeks away from the start of the season for us. I think, right? Technically, with that Barry game, that's this month. It's August.
Mm.
We play them. We play them this month. I'm right in saying that, right? It's at the end of the month. I'm pretty sure. I'm right.
I think it might be sooner actually. I think
Yeah.
it's like for second or third week. Yeah. So
So
yeah, time's ticked on pretty quick, isn't it?
it
It's
has. It really
which
has, and we want to talk about, I guess,
yeah,
our Asia Pacific tour. We've still got 2 friendlies left.
yeah.
Technically, it's part of our preseason with Leeds and Chelsea,
Hmm.
but our official preseason tour is over. So we want to talk about a little bit about the players, who we like, what we saw from them, what's still left to do. And a general kind of chat about, I guess, what's going to come up in the very, very soon in our first competitive game against Bari in the Coppa Italia. What pre-qualifiers, like round of whatever it is, round of 32.
Yeah.
Nuts. So yeah, I don't know where you want to start, because the last game we spoke to you guys about was obviously the Arsenal game. So do you want to start with a little bit about Liverpool? I know they
Yeah.
touched on the main pod, but give our thoughts.
Yeah, and like how we were saying last week, we were saying like, oh, I said specifically, I said don't focus too much on the result, look at the performance more so. And I think I actually said, and my memory is pretty good for this. I think I said even if they would probably beat us like 4-2 is one of them games because they play so open, but the scoreline was reversed. We beat them 4-2, which is kind of crazy when you think of it. But yeah, I was really happy with the game. I mean, probably much like most people, kind of caught it in spats. And it kind of tapped into that Allegri ball at its peak. That we're becoming a very well-oiled machine
Mm.
defensively, hard to break down, and then deadly on the counter. And Leao, fantastic. Loftus Cheek looks back to that player that we saw when we first signed him, and can utilize some of his strengths in transition. And not he got a great goal, didn't he? Loftus Cheek. I thought even the way
Yeah, he
he
did.
took it inwards and
Tidy feet. That was in the
tidy
box. Yeah.
feet, tidy feet, and we forget that about him. He has that ability, but poor season last year, so a lot of better expectations for this season. Looks like Allegri might be looking upon him as a player he can trust in that midfield, as the more advanced one. Specifically getting closer to the centre forward and then adding that layer of physicality. Salamakers, I think he got an assist as well. With I think one of the Okafor goals, I can't remember now, and then obviously Okafor as well, 2 goals, a brace, and I'll come on
Don't
to
get me started on Okafor.
another brace against Perth, but like, and then I think that's looking at the attackers, but like the midfield, Ricci, in the hole, very, very much as the number 6 there, sort of marshalling the midfield with great energy and awareness. And then just defensively as well. Tomori's now back in the rotation. He's back in the starting spot, and looks like Allegri is utilizing him certainly as the more right-sided centre back.
Yeah.
I think there were comparisons to Barzali and kind of
Yes, I was about to say. Yeah.
for Juve. So and obviously the other defenders like Chow's getting opportunities. Pavlovic is still there as well. Gabbia. So really utilizing the strengths of what he's got in his current squad, even without a true centre forward, which he obviously hasn't got. Santi Jimenez back. We haven't signed that number 9 that we've been rumored to sign, but still putting up a lot of goals, which gives me a lot of good faith going into the season because the foundations are there. I think that's the point. Like the high energy, the willingness to work for the team, and it doesn't have to be like Leao to change his identity. It's everyone playing to their strengths, and that allows Leao to kind of be so deadly in attack. So great optimism so far, and I was really happy with the Liverpool game. I didn't think it was a fluke. I think it's how traditionally Italian football is played. You play to your strengths, and the game is made on getting better goal scoring opportunities. We saw bits of this against Arsenal. Arsenal could have a lot more of the shots, but if they're all going to be from fucking 30 meters out, Mike's going to have a field day with that. But what we're trying to do is carve out chances on the break for Leao to get those one-on-one chances, for Okafor, for all those other attacking players to get those cleaner chances to be 1-1 with the keeper or 1-1 with the defender. And it's going to make our lives a lot more easier the more we do this work now in pre-season, and goes into so much confidence against Bari, even without a centre forward, even without Shaqiri signed yet, or maybe not even at all. So yeah, really happy, mate. What did you think of the Liverpool game?
I mean, it was a great spectacle. I mean, from the perspective of beating a top team, it was great. I will say I put less credence on friendlies than others might do, or preseason games anyway, because obviously you look at the lineup, look at Liverpool's team. Yes, they had some great players, and yes, so did we. But I don't think really. Apparently, that was their first friendly as well, which is very odd. They didn't have any preseason games before that, which is interesting. Even still, result was fantastic. But I'm focusing on certain plays within the match, like you alluded to, like the defense, the concentration, the compactness. That's fine. And the fact that we beat them shows that there's that bit of ruthless edge. That's that competitive aspect that they want to do well, which was lost the last season or two, you could say. So that was really, really good. I take no notice of Okafor. I'll be honest. I'm not interested. I really am not. I don't rate him at all. I don't want to hit. There's always a player, Steph, right, that does really well in pre-season. And I think even Chukwueze to a degree, but at least I've seen spits and spats of Chukwueze playing okay against certain Serie A sides and in the Champions League when his first season. It was okay, right? But Okafor, man, I don't know. I mean, that's more of a Perth glory thing, but I don't really care that Okafor scored 2 goals, to be honest. I really don't, and I'm singling him out, but I'm not interested in it. Do you rate him?
I was going to make a joke there. I was going to say it was okay for him to be pretty good.
Okafor, and he scored 4 goals, hasn't he? Again, classic.
Look, I mean, I'm trying to be like glass half empty, glass half full with this. Friendlies don't really answer the question. I do think realistically, looking at the squad, we're not looking to invest too much in the wingers that we've done in the previous years.
I agree.
So Pulisic, Chukwueze, Okafor, we've made investments prior. I think how management are looking at this squad, and obviously, they could be better at it, it could be worse. They're not the supporting cast around the centre forward, around Leao. As long as they bring a high element of energy and can bring some quality, I think they're gonna utilize that. And something, he scored a brace against Liverpool. Yeah, he scored a brace against Perth. But other than Leao and Pulisic, you can do a shift on the left, and Salamakers as well. I think is there some worth keeping Okafor for the season as an option off the bench, because he has done that in his first season when he was with us and put up some important goals. He's got a good finish on him. And I think if you look at all the goals that he scored against Liverpool, against Perth, there is a very tidy finisher there, but it's a very raw player on the sense of positional awareness. Perhaps the freedom in the formation of what Leao has can benefit him as well. And we can give him, that whole vice Leao that we brought him in for in the first place can continue to thrive off the bench in those situations. Yeah. But, it's hard to say if that's something that he would want either, because he might want more regular game time. But,
probably.
But I don't know.
I will say this: he's not a priority solution. That aspect, like you just said, the left wing, right wing, they're not priority positions that I'm thinking about that badly either. Especially when you focus on the fact that we've only got Serie A and Coppa Italia football, and Super Coppa. You know what I mean? We've only got domestic games, so. And I think maybe if Allegri is going to be deploying Leao more as an advanced forward, left forward, or a striker. Because the thing about Okafor for me is I don't think he's a left winger, and I don't think he's an out-and-out striker. So if Allegri is using Leao as this mold between the two, Okafor could slot in as a cover for that position. Then I'm not against it. He's not as bad as Musa, definitely that's for sure. But I just don't think he's a very efficient player that is ever going to be Milan quality in that sense, But agreed, he's not priority. So even still, it was nice to see him get on the score sheet for sure.
Yeah, and they might with Jimenez coming back quite late when no striker signed yet. They might keep him towards the end of August and make a decision, because I think we're going to need the depth to go into Bari games, to go into the first games of the season. And Cremonese, I think that's the first game of the season.
Yeah, it is Cremonese.
And I think there should be a quality gap there that he can help us out with. Because if we get rid of him before that, and we've got Santi coming back, still working on his fitness. We haven't, who knows how long this striker thing might last for. It might be right until the end of August, that we might need him there, even from a depth perspective, potentially even to start. So, not a lot of people love him. I'm not going to sit here and go, I'm back on the Okafor bandwagon. I'm not. But, it's good to see that he's approached this preseason with intensity, regardless if he stays at Milan or not. Like, he could have easily came in and just gone, I was on the bench for Napoli and I won the league with them, and like just been quite complacent with what's going to be next in his career. But he's not. He's come back and it looks like he's willing to work, and I think that's the least you can ask from him right now.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the next might just be, we give it a year, see what he does to contribute. But I'm not saying like long term is he a great option to have? Probably not. But to your point, I'll be focusing on addressing that depth in that position at the moment. It might just be something that's good enough for now, but in the future, see you later, mate.
And with that being said, I mean, who has been your standout performer, do you think, in preseason so far? If you had to pick one player, I think for me it's quite clear who I've been incredibly impressed with.
Yeah, I probably have to go for it's hard to pick one. I've been really impressed with Leao. I have to say, quality always shines through. I've been really impressed with Ricci. I've been really impressed with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I've been really impressed with Alexis Salamakers. And then I have to probably call out the defense as a collective. I've been really impressed with that as well in their shape. It's quite tough. If you take Ben my arm and go pick one player, I'll go with Leao, man. Why not? Because I think
nice.
Yeah.
I think Leao's been fantastic. Mine would be Ricci, definitely.
Yeah.
I've been really impressed because he's not a player that I've got a massive known quantity about. We saw him obviously at Torino; he was very solid, but again, going to the attitude and compactness, the position that he's been played at a base of midfield for Allegri in basically all the games, he's been a real controller. He's had the right energy. He hasn't misplaced passes, unlike someone like Fofana, who has been kind of undulating for a player who's been at the squad for a while now and has had a full season. Ricci looked far more comfortable. Again, I know it's preseason, but that again gives me more faith that Ricci is going to be even better because he hasn't had any of that prior training. He hasn't understood his teammates. He's just come in. Whereas Fofana's had that time. If I had to compare sort of those two players, so Ricci for me has been brilliant. But yeah, the ones you called out, Loftus-Cheek, Salamakers, Leao, they've all been really, really solid. Defense as well. Again, concentration, I think approaches to games has been the thing I've been most impressed with.
I think Ricci, I think we have to kind of it's still preseason, it's still early doors, but I don't think any of us, there's not a lot of fans, bar the fact he was Italian, who were like, that's the right signing for us. There was a lot of people of us going like, get better quality. We're only signing because he's Italian. Is he a true number 6? Can he play in that role? And so far, he's proving a lot of people wrong. He's proving a lot of people wrong in the sense of he can add some quality there. We are going to get the likes of Modric coming into it and hopefully more the midfielders to help out from a quality perspective. But he's asking a question now where at the start of when everyone was molding up the formations and what was going to be our next starting 11, it was going to be Modric, let's say Jashari at the 6, and then Fofana. Now he has to be in the starting 11, without question.
Good. Yeah, he looks great.
And I'm hoping he uses this momentum to go into the start of the season because Modric has only coming into the squad next week. Fofana hasn't started well. Loftus-Cheek probably is going to be around there maybe from the start of the season, and we haven't signed Jashari, or if not another player that we might be linked with in that position yet. So we're really banking on him at the start of the season.
Which worries me a little bit how we always. But he's so.
Yeah, I think he's a good little general for Allegri there in the midfield.
I agree.
So yeah, fair play to him, man. Fair play to him. But good shout. I've been impressed by him, I have to say.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, do you think maybe it's a little bit early, obviously, to say? I just want to quickly highlight the Perth game's not really worth highlighting too much. It was a rout. The team's terrible, but that volley he had in particular was fantastic.
Yeah,
volley was really good technique. That would have gone in against most keepers, I think. So solid strike.
Yeah,
but,
not much. We can't really dissect. I mean, it was it was a washout. Like
Yeah.
if Telechano scoring in 3 minutes, it's like it's
mate, if Moose is scoring a goal, you got to be
he
shit.
took it well, to be fair, but yeah.
He
like,
did. No, he did.
Yeah.
He struck that roof of the net. I was like, fair play. I was like, still not a
I'm
competitive
getting my
goal,
fucking goal now. Yeah, fair play to him. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to take from that game. Good. Sometimes in preseason you need a game where you put a lot of goals past to build confidence.
Yeah.
But
they are bad. But it was
yeah,
still nice.
But to your point, that ruthlessness stays regardless of like the opposition. And that's the thing we just need to keep going, because I think
agreed. Yeah,
we have been victim to complacency over the years. We have treated weaker sides and the approach with it the wrong way, because we've been going, we should just beat in best base of quality. No, you fucking you pound them to an
every game. Any game, doesn't matter who it is, you win.
Yeah. And then you tuck in all of you if you want to get some goals and the assists and stuff. It was everyone doing the right moves and the right plays, passing, not taking the piss too much. Like I looked at like what was the Okafor goal when Jimenez kind of like takes on quite a few players there. He makes the right pass, he slots it in. He's got like keep it professional and take the result away and get the confidence from it. So there is something to take away from it, although I took more away from the Liverpool game.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
But
I'm also excited to see the Leeds and Chelsea games. I think there'll be a far closer representation of how we'll play against arguably better teams. Although Leeds are just newly promoted, they are still a Premier League team and have Premier League budget to match. So they'll be really, really good games. Yeah, I mean, I guess, is it early to kind of highlight and pull out, even though the transfer window's not finished? Who do you think might be a standout player in the squad at the moment going into the season? I'm going to just replicate and say, I think we mentioned it. I think Ricci is going to be a real, like you said, general that Allegri is going to be relying on, massively.
Yeah. And I don't want to keep like copying, but Leao for me, this could really be like a year he makes a step forward here.
Yeah, I agree.
If we're giving him that freedom in the position and
closer to goal, it's quite simple. He's closer.
Yeah.
He's closer to goal. Like that's
honestly
brilliant.
I'm not saying I'm not going to be stupid and say what's stopping him from scoring a goal a game. That's obviously impossible. But what is stopping him from having some really good, more clean-cut chances per game, and thus kind of like as a law of averages, like he should improve in his finishing. And you partner him with a good centre forward as well. You could be still racking up those assists as well. So like, why not kind of think? I expect more from Leao 1000% from last season from a stats perspective. But it's a question mark of how far he can get to. And then I think other players,
though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, because we're like, shit, this is the player we could be talking about, the player that we've always dreamed him to sort of make a move into. But I think who would be our standout going into the season?
Rogue shout Estepinian. Come on, that's yours.
Yeah. I think it's a collective one for me, but I'm quite happy to starting to see the value of the fringe players and players like Salamakers who have come back and took a different approach to this squad and their position in it. And it gives us a new sense of identity that we could play a back five, we could play a 4-3-3. And, we got these different little Swiss Army knives in the squad who can add that quality regardless of what position they play, whether it's Salamakers right wing back or right winger or even right back. Same as like Alex Jimenez. I feel like him and Salamakers are these two little kind of difficult players to mark because they're so good with intricate play with the football between their legs, and look for the pass, look to drive into space. So it should be a bit more excitement this year, regardless of having a bit more of a defensive approach, because we'll be creating more one-on-ones and more chances for these attacking players to get through on goal. So yeah,
I like that approach. Interesting, very, very interesting.
But no, there's still a bit of work to do, obviously, in the sense of like we have a big squad. There's still some players that need to go. Like you've got Benacer still on the contract, you've got Adli under contract. Fucking Morata is still caged up by Galatasaray and how they're treating him with that whole deal. It's
his own doing. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah. I don't know how that works out as well. Like if you want to keep him on loan, like I mean, fair enough, but like they still pay his wage. I would assume. I'm not too sure. I can't remember even how the deal went in the first place, but there's obviously still a bit to work to do with them. There's the Jashari saga, which I don't know how this is going to end. Because I think we're going to play a little bit of a patient game, which I don't know if it's the right answer either. But this is just such a difficult deal and relationship to deal with that even if it goes through, and even if we sign him, which I really still want to see happen, because obviously he's like, the Milanista element to it as well. So you kind of want what's right by him as well to fulfill his dream, considering that he's like poo-pooed all the other sort of deals to like the Premier League. There's this kind of bit where it's like to get to that point is taking so long and such effort. It shouldn't have had to been this way. And I think that works both sides. Yeah, we could have offered more, but I still look wholeheartedly at Bruges in this aspect, and I've gone like, I think they've turned business personal, and we could sit here and go, all right, we should have offered more from the get. Like that's what negotiations are for, man. That's what negotiations are for. Yeah, we're about 2 mil short, but like if there's an intrinsic value for a player, in my opinion, then we should hold firm. Like I think there's an element of personal that they're taking with us here because of the CDK thing and because of perhaps they don't like some people in our management. Like there's no way that they're just kind of like they'd be not willing to sort of like negotiate, but fuck it, man. Fair play to them if they want to go down this route. But it's leaving them potentially with a disgruntled player that could still be on their books next season. So yeah. What do you think about the Deshari thing, mate?
Oh god, I mean it's boring. Like Ollie and AJ said in the main pod, and I think other people and maybe bonus things as well that we've put out. And probably every Milan fan is bored of it. We're all bored of it. There's so much work to do still. I do think we're going to get it done or something. When I say it, I mean the things we need to get done. Whether it's Deshari or not, I don't know. I also agree. I think they're going to take that patient approach. Remains to be seen if that's correct or not. But I think the only question mark for me is I agree. I think it has gone personal. It has to, because if he's clearly the player that has been put out as to be the ideal player everyone's happy with, then surely we're getting so late now that the few £1 million we're going to save, is it really worth it when he's not going to have the preseason or any kind of additional training, which is so valuable? Or is there something else like there always is with Milan that we don't know, that is coming up to light that isn't clear? Is it the Fellaini being super tight? Who knows?
Yeah.
But look, it's clear the striker and Deshari question mark are going to be things that are going to be left until the end of the month, which
it's not ideal. It's not ideal, is it? Because it's like we should be like, regardless of the squad doing really well in pre-season,
we've signed
like
two of them,
you're leaving things too late, man. It's like you need to set yourself up with the best success in going into the season, and that comes down to integration, fitness, like getting used to Allegri's tactics, etc., etc. I found it interesting. I read one of the interviews on the obviously on the website with I think Allegri's agent saying that like if Deshari isn't signed, he's not going to resign. Like Allegri's like isn't going to resign. Alluding to the fact that like this is a fetish for management, that they want him so much, and like whether it's Tare or like Moncada or Fellaini, like they clearly want him, but like I think they've gone like, look, we want this player, Allegri, you in for it? And he's like, yeah, sweet. He's a sort of player that I would like to utilize. But it's not like Allegri's pushing it, going, no, I need Deshari to make this whole work. I think Allegri's
which makes it more interesting, though, doesn't it, from an investment perspective? Because what's their motivation then? What if it's not coming directly from the manager, let's say, because I could believe that, especially if it's his agent saying that. And it is they clearly think that he's going to be worth more money, whatever it might be. Why aren't you paying it unless they've calculated to the £1 million, which again Ollie referenced about Fellaini's quote on, we've got to spend each euro better than our rivals. Maybe it is as simple as they have calculated the exact on a spreadsheet how much it's going to be, and any £1 million more than that, it's suddenly not a good deal. It could be just that.
Maybe. And I also think there's a bit like this has gone on for 2 months now, and like the longer we're in it, the longer. And I know like Tade was like, this is the last offer and that's it. But like And another article that I read, it was like, it's kind of like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you pull away now.
Yeah.
It's 2 months of wasted effort,
Yeah.
or you carry on and give another offer. It's like you've gone against your word. So it's like you can't win in either way. So it is the lesser of two evils, just to kind of like put the offer on the table and see if they fucking fold. But like it's just then, getting fans a bit more pissed off about the whole saga. So like I said, it shouldn't have to been this way, because even if he still comes, it kind of leaves this pressure and this tainted element towards the whole deal, which kind of masked around CDK, ironically, and you dread if that happens. Does that similar? I don't think lightning strikes twice in that regard. Nothing can be as poor as that guy's fucking season with us, but like, it's not how like the Richie thing, and I think that's probably his proof in the pudding. Like, it's smooth and it's clean, and he comes in, job done, he can crack on, focus on football. This is like, you got the guy like refusing to play
juju again,
refusing to play games for Bruges, and he's going to clearly, hurt his relationship with the fans. You got Van Aken doing interviews talking about like, this isn't how business should be done, man. No way.
No, it's bad. I mean, kind of trying to round off and just have a look at what's left to do. We know the striker is going to be a late one. Jashari, no one knows when that's going to end. I do agree with your opinion. I think it's going to be the patient approach. What is the next thing that we need to do then? Obviously, I would say outgoings first, and then what other player, what other position are you expecting us to do business? If we're not going to sign another player until, again, striker, we know it's going to be an end of August thing. We know that for a fact. Then Jashari, again, question mark. What is next? What's immediately next? What do we expect? The 5th of August, 4th of August to be the news. What do you think?
Well, the right back's the other one, isn't it? Where it's been a bit like whether it's Doué, or I think we had I don't know if we're seeing it after like Foyth or something like that. I think what's interesting about this whole right back thing is, don't get me wrong, I think we could do with a natural right back right now. And there's clearly like a budget we're trying to spend around 15, maybe maximum 20 million euros for it. Salamakers has done well in pre-season in the wing-back position. We know Jimenez can play there as well. If we go for a back three or back five, whatever you want to call it, I think we should invest in a centre-back, not a right-back. Because obviously 4 players for 3 positions. Bartes Bazaghi, whatever his name is, can play on the left side, but then he's doing all right at left back a little bit. Maybe he's a left wing back there to back up to Estepinian. But then like I could just do another body there in that position. I wonder if we go for a centre back who can play on the right as well. That's why they went for Foyth. Not too sure, but yeah, right back's one that's been in question a bit, and seemingly the third position that we're still looking to make an investment in addition to the centre forward and the centre mid. Because other than that, I can't see much in the rest of the squad that requires new additions coming in. And to your point, we need
outgoings. I think next week I'd like to just hear about outgoings, about sales. I'm not, I think it's a bit stalled on the front of incomings at the moment. So I'd like, starting Monday, I just want to hear Adley's close to going, Benitez close to going. That's what I want to hear, because we actually have only sold Reinders. Am I correct in saying that? Actually sold. We've put a couple players on loan, like Colombo at Genoa, but I think that's literally the only deal we've done. So
Teo, no.
Oh, and Teo. Sorry, of course. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah.
Teo and someone else has gone as well, I want to say. And like Pobegga's gone. Oh, there was like a loan
again. Yeah. I think they're the only player sales we've made, I think. So
Oh no, yeah, and then the Kalulu was bought outright, but
No. And then our loans ended, but they were loans. They weren't, like Sotil.
There's still, there's a couple of players that could have a future in the squad next season. We mentioned Okafor.
Yeah.
But then to your point, Ali, Morata.
Get that deal fired up, please, with Napoli.
Yeah.
Can you believe that was like 2 months ago? That was about 2 months ago. It was like Musa's almost gone. 25 million. Wow. And now he's scoring.
That's interesting as well.
It is.
He is, but I think like he is on the fringe of everything, and it's kind of and
He's the
rightfully so.
definition of fringe, that boy.
Yeah, he should be the lowest in the pecking order for me. Like and like Warren Bondo, whatever his name is, or Bodo,
Oh,
should be like
mate.
he should be above Musa. But like I don't know. I think like as we are, Allegri's keeping some options open for certain players. But I think to your point, we'll start to see it start unfold over the hopefully next couple of weeks, where the outgoings and trim a bit of the fat around the squad. There's obviously a balance you need to keep from a slight bit of depth, but you need that perfect number, about 23 players if you've only got one competition next year. But yeah, a bit ashamed. I wish we took the sale for Musa, because
Me too.
Yeah, would have been good to make 20-25 million euros on him, but there we are.
Hey, who knows? As always, we'll plug the socials, the main pod, bonus pod, the Discord, which I think is growing quite a lot actually. So there are a lot more people using the Substack. So if you want to try a week for free, you can. But also, we'd like to know what you guys are thinking generally. I mean, it's been a bit of a slow. It's just been a bit slow. I think this week we've had zero news, so we're just curious to see if there's other things you guys want to hear, anything like that. Steph, you got any kind of like closing thoughts?
Not really. I saw a guy with a Pulisic shirt at the Oasis concert the other day.
Yeah,
I was quite chuffed by that.
Put on the chat. That's
I was
sick.
like, oh, sick. I said the new top as well. I was like, oh, is that a new top? He's like, yeah. He's the American voice turns around. I was like, so you're a Milan fan? He's like, I'm a Pulisic fan, man. And I was like, oh, fair enough. Fucking bring in that cash.
I love it.
Fellaini's licking his lips. I should have said to him, I was like, do you know who Musa is? And he would have been like, what?
Eunice, what?
What? But no closing
We're
thoughts,
massive, mate. We are massive.
We are massive. Yeah. But no closing thoughts, man.
Good. Well, we'll catch you guys next week. And if there's anything you want to get involved with, you can message us on the Discord. And let's hope for some news next week.
Yeah.
Sure. What's the story? Morning glory, Steph. We'll chat next week.
Very good. Very good.
Cheers. Ciao, guys.
Bye.